Baseball season, my friend. Where's your hat? You don't love your team, do you?
No, I just have hair.
Because you're old.
Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Red Students. I'm Corbin.
I'm Rick.
And you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more juicy content.
It's
Ball
so
jokes.
juicy.
And take more shows on Patreon. Follow for sure. Ring the bell to go to the notification squad. Patreon, like what?
Broke my larynx and then forgot what you were doing. Rewind.
Today, we reacting to a video.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna sit here and stare at the
Since
screen.
we will be in India soon.
We will?
Maybe.
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe we hardly came back. Who knows?
Actually, it was just a big joke, guys.
Funny.
April Fools!
Anyways, but this is called the right way to eat Indian food. I thought.
We already know how you do that. Naan and rice. It's pretty clear.
Exactly. Obviously, Rick's been to India, and we know, we've heard and stuff, but this was suggested to us. It looks like she has I think it's called a thali, right?
I don't know.
I think when you have a bunch of different stuff.
I don't know what that's called.
I think it's called a thali. Here we go.
Stop eating it wrong. Okay, we'll see.
Something tells me that I should be eating this like a taco.
Yes. Eat the rice with the naan. They love it when you do that.
Hey, this is Mahesh here. We are right now at Watson, New York. Let me teach you how to
New York.
eat authentic Indian food in right way, because people out there are eating it the wrong way.
You need a mic.
What is my experience eating Indian food? I've had Indian buffet 2-3 times before in my life, mostly when
Indian
I've gone
buffet?
to Niagara Falls.
I know that there's naan. Isn't paneer something too?
I remember the first time I had Indian food. The first thing I thought was, wow, this tastes like absolutely nothing I've ever consumed before. I usually ask for a fork and knife.
Go ahead, X me.
Thali is a blend of spices, and
Thali!
every single thing has different spices. Every region in India has different types of food. Basically, what we have over here is typically from the
Rice.
state Gujarat, the west side of India.
Oh, yes.
Wow. I would not know how to eat
These are
that.
nuts. They look like the ones kind of that are sold on the street in
But
New
it's
York.
probably not that.
Guacamole, maybe.
Start from here with the chana masala. There are lentil beans with tomato, onion, and coriander. This machia, steamed with flour spinach.
Do they have a lot of onions in Indian
With
food?
spicy
Yeah.
Ragla Paris, potato cutlet with white bean sauce, some peanuts and some coriander on it. Save puri, fried breast, stuffed with
More-
spiced
more,
sprouts, some yogurt, some
beans.
spices on it. Batata vadas, fried potato dumplings, some puffed cream or wheat flour cake, and the long one is the fried pepper, so it can be spicy at times. Start from this dipping sauce, the green one and the red one.
That's
It's
the-
basically for the finger foods, which we have.
We've had that.
So you can bring in your green dipping sauce. You can put it in your plate. So
Dip,
if you
dip,
dip
dip,
it,
dip,
you
dip.
soak some of the
See that,
green
Corbin Miles?
sauce.
I
You
can
put
dip.
it out by your hand.
I've dipped things before.
It's like a plantain, but I don't think
Plantain?
it's a plantain. It would probably be good with some of this tamarind stuff.
It's not tamarind. It's
It's not?
mango pickle. And none of this has tamarind. Trying out this pickle with this, yeah, it was wrong.
Oh, this looks fine.
You don't use spoon in this samosas, batata vadas.
What if I'd want to use a spoon?
Put something in your plate and you use your hand.
So just essentially.
Yeah. And then you have it. That's
There's
all.
people that eat pizza with a fork. You can't tell people how to eat.
Yeah, when this is over, I have a question about this.
So you don't want to combine 2 points of samosas. What you want to do is like have a bit of spicy first, or you can have sweet. Start from here, it's lentil soup. Next is kheer, the sweet dish, the chole, chickpeas with gravy, cauliflower with green peas, bhaji, finished with corn.
That's what I don't
potato
like.
and stuff, potato and tomato gravy.
Stuff on your fingers?
And next to it is mango pulp. And this is basically the roti. It's a wheat bread which is flat. Papad is what comes in a complimentary. So what we do is we just fold it.
Looks like a tortilla.
Just push it. Just one thing.
Yeah, very much.
I wonder how close roti is to a tortilla.
Now see, this is the stuff that I'm not sure what this is. This has like the consistency of soup.
everything you get in big quantities, so everyone can have it in case if your friends are sitting by. This is basically the khichdi. The next to it is yogurt soup. This and this
Yogurt
are the combination
soup?
you can try.
And then it's kind of the same thing. Then you'll put
Yeah.
that in and just.
You can mix it with your hand.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. You combine,
Wow.
you mix
no.
it, you can flatten it out. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
no problem. Sour beans. You need some help really, and you need some help. If you try with this, it's a thin lentil wafer. So this is a complementary part. The main thing over here is
Complimentary fork, is that what he said?
This all you
I
have to
guess.
do. So use this to dip into all of that.
I can't hear him
Just
very
use
well.
it.
Yeah, he needs a mic.
Okay.
And he needs some
break
coffee.
The bread apart. You can just
Sorry.
Just a spinach with cone where you can pinch.
Pinch.
It's not a small amount, a bigger one.
Pinch bigger.
Yeah.
Alright. That can pinch bigger.
Yeah, there you have it.
Oh. I remember when I was
I
a
like
kid.
doing that with
I started
naan
doing
and
this,
butter
my mom
chicken.
would slap my hand. What was wrong with you? Use your utensils. All these years later, I'm using my hands again. Interesting.
What, you don't eat other foods with your hands that exist?
Okay, you see, here's the thing. There's a difference between eating with your hands and then eating with your hands.
Do tell.
Pizza, I've eaten plenty of stuff with my hands. Pizza, you eat with your hands, of course.
Hamburgers.
But
Hot
you
dogs.
don't normally end up having goop on your hands.
You do it if you eat it right.
I don't think that's correct.
Pizza can get messy. What about, you'll say, I know you won't do this, but like,
That's basically like...
what about when you're eating like barbecue ribs? That's
hardly-
gonna get all over you. That should be a freaking
I don't like...
experience.
I don't like barbecue.
That should be on your elbows and like your nipples. That's
one of
all
the
over
reasons
you.
I don't like it.
Oh man, I slather that all over me.
But like, it's essentially like, obviously, if there's something on my hand, I'll wipe it off and that's fine. But like, what they're eating, it's essentially to me like if I had oatmeal and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna eat this with my hand. And then I have oatmeal all over my hands and I'm like, here, Rick, eat the oatmeal. That's what, it's not like I've never eaten a hot dog with my hands before.
No, I understand what you're saying. And this falls back into, it's interesting because you have a texture thing, not
do.
just with your mouth, but with your hands. It's the whole, what it feels like on the tips of your fingers.
Yeah.
Because the food, chips, French fries, hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, chicken wings, all of those
there's
are
a bunch of stuff
pretty
you eat with your hands.
non-messy finger things that you can just hold. They have like, they're self-contained.
Yes.
Versus eating things like you wouldn't take a chip and some guacamole and eat the chip and then do that with the guacamole.
Yeah. So like what they're doing is like mixing rice with some form of curry. I'm assuming, and then they're eating it. I can't do that. It gross.
Now here's
the seeing it on their hands disgusts me.
yeah, see, it doesn't bother me, and I actually
I'm not saying you shouldn't do it.
Enjoy
You're more than welcome to do it.
yeah, I actually enjoyed. It was a really neat experience. I like feeling the textual rice with the sauces in it, and eating it off the hands was for me quite enjoyable.
My son likes that, but he's 3 months old.
Yeah, well, it's a very passionate, human, earthy. I loved it.
I have no doubt, but don't be alarmed when I break out my fork.
Now here's my question: the right and the wrong thing. Is it a definitive faux pas?
Well, I think so because they tell us in every single video that we eat stuff raw.
Well, there's a difference between somebody's personal opinion versus a collective cultural agreement.
I think
So-
I think he's correct.
Now, like for example, New York Italians, I'm one of them. When we eat spaghetti, we eat it with a fork and a spoon because we're going to twirl it. Now, if you eat spaghetti without a fork and a spoon, I'm not going to tell you you're eating it wrong. I'm just going to think to myself, too bad you don't know how to eat it with a fork and a spoon because I think that's the most efficient way to eat it, and that's what Italian New Yorkers do. You go to Italy, and I've heard Italians in Italy don't use the fork and spoon. That's a definitively New York thing.
Well, I think that's what I don't think he's saying right and wrong. I think he's saying if you want to be authentic Indian, this is how we do it.
So in other words, if you want to be an authentic New York Italian, pick up the spoon and twirl your pasta.
Fork is essentially what
Okay,
he's saying.
I get it.
Not that this is the only way you can eat this.
No, because for me, it's always I'm a big thing on like manners and what's appropriate and the right way to do something. So culturally, I wouldn't want to be at a place in any country, but especially in India, where the way I'm eating the food is not just considered wrong, but like it's culturally inappropriate. For example, if people were going to a formal dinner, and I always gave this example to my kids growing up of if you were having a dinner at the White House, would you know where to put? You're not supposed to put your elbows on the table.
I would do everything wrong. Right now. Ask me in 4 years.
You know what I mean? Okay, if you were having a dinner, I'll use a different example.
Please do.
At Buckingham Palace.
That's almost just as bad. I don't give a shit about them either.
Okay, is there any place of considered to be higher level?
Your mom's house?
No.
Oh yeah. There's not a lot of respect in that house. High five!
If you were invited over to Tom Hardy's house, and he had the table set up
Sure.
with a little spoon across the top, 3 forks of different size to the left, 2 different forks on the right, and 2 different glasses on the right, would you want to know exactly what everything was for and make sure you were doing it the right way?
Well, 1, I do. I waited for a long time. But 2...
What, at a place like that with that kind of...
But also, no, I wouldn't care.
You really?
No, not at all.
No matter where you were, you wouldn't care if what you were doing was considered rude or polite.
1, I think if I was doing something that would offend somebody, they would tell me.
No.
2...
Not in the upper echelons of society.
Okay.
They would look down on you and never invite you back.
Okay, that's fine. I care that little about what people think. If the fact that I would be eating something with a wrong fork is dumb in and of itself, that you have different forks for things. So no, that is not a scenario. And there's different scenarios. Like if you're in a different country and they're serving you something that I don't agree with, like if somebody served me shark fin soup, I would refuse shark fin soup even if it was offensive to do so, because I will not eat that. Or if they're eating dog, or if they're eating something like that.
Yeah,
culturally extremes that I don't agree with. I would offend them, not be like, hey, you little, but I would be like, no, I'm okay. Thank you so much.
I agree. But I don't necessarily compare using the right fork with eating shark fin soup.
Sometimes.
I find those to be grand extremes.
Sometimes.
It's like, I don't know if I'm going to use that straw or allow you to hit the baby seal over the head.
Both are equal. Straws kill turtles. So, you're all turtle murderers.
Well,
what
anyway.
were you raising your hands for?
You cared when you met my family.
Oh!
Oh! What are you referring to, though?
About how you were perceived.
That's different.
Why is that different?
Because they're my family now, and I have to deal with them for the rest of my life.
Not I want to know and get along with them, but I have
Also,
to
we're not talking
deal
about
with them.
her parents. They're talking about her family, grandparents, aunts, uncles
Gotcha.
that I'd never met before.
Gotcha.
So no, but I still would have done the exact same thing. I wouldn't have cared if I was having one. They're Missouri. They don't care which fork you eat with. They're Missouri. But no, but like I'm not. That doesn't equate to me.
So, suffice it to say that when it comes to accepted cultural norms, it doesn't matter very much to you.
I will not, if I know something in advance, I will not purposely offend.
Right.
But if I'm doing something wrong, I don't really care.
Okay.
So that's the Corbin take on that.